Do you sleep enough? With the demands of modern day life, getting enough sleep is so difficult for people in this country. In fact, when it comes to restful sleep, a third of Canadians say they get 3 nights per week or less, according to Narrative Research. So Amanda Jewson is a sleep expert. She's here to talk about why this is becoming a bigger problem and what impact it has on our health. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the CDC identifies sleep deprivation as a public health epidemic.
Yeah.
Why is this becoming a bigger problem on a global scale?
I mean, when we think about the average Canadian life, and before this segment, you and I were talking about how we live by our calendars. Canadians are busy. We have a lot of things going on. We have technological impacts. I mean, there are so many things impacting our sleep, stressing us out. And still, although we come and we do these segments all the time, sleep is still not a priority for most. It's the first thing to go when we're busy. But thankfully, we have really good research leading us in the right direction.
Well, we don't prioritize rest as a society. We prioritize hustle culture, which is fine. It can get, you need the money.
Totally.
But we also need to make rest just as worthy
100%.
as the hustle.
You can't hustle if you're tired.
Exactly. Yes, you can. I need that like tattoo on my forehead, honestly. Okay, so let's look at a few of the reasons why we aren't getting enough sleep. One of them you say is linked to intimacy.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about this, so we actually have a huge study on this. Recently, 2023, a study looked at 2,100 people. That's a lot of people. And the folks that said that they practice physical intimacy or valued sexual health tend to fall asleep quicker and report better sleep outcomes. So prioritizing that part of your life, that physical intimacy part, can actually have super impacts on your sleep.
Okay, a note to take home for later.
Note.
Also, how does age impact the amount of sleep we get?
So Canada has an aging population. In 2023, we had 7.6 million Canadians who were 65 plus. As we age, we might be impacted more by insomnia, trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, sleep apnea, which is a breathing obstruction, and folks may suffer more from chronic conditions that require certain medications that affect the quality of their sleep. What is really interesting, the research around this is around caregiver support. So as we have this aging population, we also have people taking care of these folks. And those folks are reporting not great sleep, poor sleep onset, so really a lot of trouble falling asleep and poor sleep quality. So while we are looking at our aging population, we need to be evaluating caregiver support as well.
Okay, so exercise. We talk a lot about this. We know that like naturally you feel a little more tired and fatigued when you exercise. Does that also impact your sleep?
Yes. So, I mean, this one isn't surprising, but again, like sleep, exercise is the first thing to go when we are busy. So I always like to talk about, you know, when we are moving more, we're stressed less. When we're not as stressed, we're producing better melatonin. When you're producing better melatonin, you're sleeping better. Exactly. And I mean, this goes without saying, it's harder to fall asleep if we're not moving our body. I have a joke, my family and I went to Disney years ago, or a couple years ago, and at the end of the day, I said, you know what? We don't move enough as a society. It took me no problem, no time at all to fall asleep. Moving your body really does impact sleep. We have a lot of great research around that.
And this doesn't necessarily mean like being in the gym, lifting weights. It just means getting out and moving.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so what do you suggest we do to make sure we're getting enough sleep at night?
I mean, number one, obviously prioritizing those sexual health benefits. If you have a partner, really having a conversation with them, making that a priority. A better diet, you know, the food that we eat really can impact how we are sleeping. When I think about, you know, our aging population and caregiver support, some of those things we can't control, but what we can control is our sleep environment and sleep hygiene. Sleep environment, you want to make sure that we are blacking out our blinds, that we are taking out the phones. Your sleep hygiene, stay on a schedule. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. We can control that. And you talk about movement. I really, you know, if we have that aging population or folks are at home being like, I can't move, things like chair yoga, really accessible, can help with that mobility, light stretching, a simple walk, start low and slow and add as you feel better. Anyone can move. And it's really easy to add even in your chair.
Okay, Amanda, thank you so much for these.
My pleasure.
Hey.
Okay, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.